The motion sensors on a Shelton homeowner's surveillance cameras were triggered one early January morning. What they captured was a duo loading up their truck with items from their garage.
He saw two men pull up to his driveway in a pickup truck.
Those two men are believed to be 47-year-old Christopher Beretta Sr. and 18-year-old Christopher Beretta Jr. The father-son duo are alleged to have broken into a Shelton homeowner's garage to steal items. The homeowner watching the whole thing live from his home surveillance footage.
And while he's talking to the police department, these two men are loading all his belongings in the back of the truck.
Police say the motion-sensitive surveillance footage from inside and outside the garage show the two break into the garage around 2 a.m. January 6th. They back their truck in and close the door. Police arrive not long after and declare their presence.
The homeowner's watching the gentleman get back in his truck, drive right through the garage door, not knowing who's on the other side, nearly missing the officer and the patrol car, then leads him on a chase.
Police say the pair would get away, but not for long. Police analyzed the video and evidence as well as executed search warrants for the Beretta's vehicles and home in Orange. The investigation provided enough support to arrest the Berettas on burglary in the first degree and larceny in the fourth.
But no comment at the moment.
Police say Beretta Sr. has a history of run-ins with the law. Beretta was charged with larceny in March of 2020 for allegedly stealing construction equipment from a landscaping company in West Haven. He was also arrested on similar charges twice for instances in Derby in 2017. Police are investigating the motive for the January 6th incident.
We're not sure why they picked it. They invoked their rights. They didn't speak with us.
The Berettas were released after posting their respective $10,000 bonds. They both have court dates in March. In Shelton, Dave Puglisi, Fox 61 News.